And then that was the only time that I experienced telepathy in my life, because 500 people were figuratively slapping their front. Ugh. If you have a grand unification, the proton has to decay. That was the core prediction. The theory could not avoid that. You could not introduce a parameter to prevent the proton to decay. And it was tested. I was being a graduate student at the time at the Centre Européen Recherche Nucléaire, called CERN, the European big research center on particle physics. My experiment on neutrino physics was at CERN. So I was stationed at CERN at the time in Geneva. And so everybody was talking about it. So of course there was rumors, okay, the people in the Mont Blanc tunnel, they have seen proton decay. And everybody said, oh, so it is that theory. So we have grand unification. This is fantastic. And then there was the announcement of a talk at the CERN auditorium. The CERN auditorium has about 400 seats in a balcony and down in the pit. I was early enough to get a seat, but on the balcony, the pit was already full, so that same place was overcrowded, and the Italian spokesperson of the collaboration came on the stage. Now, there's one thing about physicists. Most of them look like they have slept underneath the bridge, and if they try to wear a suit, they look funny. But for the Italians, only Italian physicists know how to wear a three-piece suit and a white shirt, and they look perfect. So we had this elderly gentleman in his three-piece suit. He looked proud like a peacock. And he had all the reasons. I mean, he found proton decay. So he gave a very good talk. And he showed his 3 events. And then something happened. There was a guy sitting on the balcony, and he was sitting on the balcony railing, which, of course, could never happen in the US, because then some security people would take him away there, but we are not that safety conscious in Europe. So he was sitting on the railing, looking like he had slept underneath the bridge, and he was swinging his feet over the pit and seemed to be very happy. And everybody was wondering, why is this guy, his name was actually Alvaro Rucola, why is the Rucola so happy? He is not going to get any Nobel Prize. He never had anything to do with grand unification. Why is he smiling? And after the 3 events were presented, he raised his arm. And he was quite a figure at CERN. He was an important person. So actually, the Italian physicist up there, he felt like he should see that. So he said, yes, Alva. And this guy was smiling and said, well, dear, did you think about neutrino background? And there was about 500 people in there. And you could have heard the proverbial pin fall. And then that was the only time that I experienced telepathy in my life, because 500 people were figuratively slapping their front. Ugh. Nobody did it, but it was in there. Nobody had thought about it. And there comes this bloody theoretician and asks the experimentalist, did you think about your background?